Okay, fundraising. I'm not going to make you feel upset or anything like that, but what Sid and I emphasize with our clients is we don't emphasize fundraising, we emphasize friend raising. Friend raising. And what you need to do as a council member, or a board member, or a committee member, or whatever organization you're with, is building relationships with people. Because I find the greatest single reason that people give where they give is who asks them. We give to people we trust and we know. We give to people, Terry, that give to an organization. And if you give to this Bible school there in South Africa, it's a joy, isn't it? And you ought to share that with them. You don't ask them for a thing. Just say, I'm involved in something as a volunteer that I just really enjoy. You don't ask for anything. Just share it with them and build a relationship. If there's any kind of activity you can invite them to, maybe you could just invite them into your home and get 3 or 4 other couples to join you and let this guy come and tell them the story. It would be great. You're not asking for the money. You're just building a relationship. And over time, all of a sudden, they'll say, well, tell me more about that South African Bible school. But do you really support it? I support a student every year. This guy will tell you. I enjoy doing it. Why do I do it? Because this guy right here. He was in my class at A&M, took my course. And we became good friends. But I believed in what he believed in. And I'm happy to be able to give that money every year. And I hear from my students. And it's just exciting. I had one old lady from Maynard, Texas, right out of Austin. George M. Eppright, class of 26 from A&M. I remember names because I can remember numbers. And if somebody tells me I'm class of 46, I can remember it. But anyway, George, somebody said, well, you know, Mr. Eppright over there, he and his wife have no children. He's done a little supporting of the College of Engineering, but nobody ever goes and sees him. And I said, well, I'll go see him. So I called him one day and I said, Mr. Eppright, this is Bob Walker. I'm with Texas A&M. Going to be in Austin next week, and I was wondering one day I could come by and take you to lunch. He said, what day you want to come? I said, well, how about Monday? He said, I'll be here. So I went over. First thing I did is look at his background, what he had done, other things he had supported a little bit. But then I discovered that he was a fisherman. Well, I'm a fisherman. Only 2 ways I fish, alone or with other people. And so I go over there, and he's got a bass boat, his little garage there. I pull in, and he said, well, I want you to meet my wife. Met her. He said, I just bought her a new John Deere riding lawnmower so she could keep the yard better. This is my kind of guy. So we go and eat, and he drives a Cadillac, 4-door black Cadillac. Well, from Maynard, Texas to Austin, it's what, 20 miles or so. He drives 40, 45 miles an hour on the freeway. Everybody's honking at us. He said, aren't these Longhorns friendly? so we go over there and eat. I worked with him for 3 years. And all of a sudden he said, Bob Walker, you're the strangest guy I've ever met. I said, what do you mean, George? He said, we've been together all this time. You're supposed to be a fundraiser, and you've never asked me for anything. I said, well, are you ready to give something? He said, yes. I said, I'd like to have 2 $25,000 scholarships from you. He said, how do I make my check out? We get to be better friends. His wife and my wife get to know each other. He calls me one day on a football weekend time. He says, Bob, I'm coming over with Margie and we want to talk to you a little bit about some estate planning. I said, that'd be great. So we meet up in Rudder Tower when I had an office up there. And he said, if I were to give you that tract of land we have at Maynard, could I restrict half of it? You can restrict the whole thing, you know, it didn't just be half of it. He said, well, I'd like half of it to be in scholarships, half of it to be whatever you need. It was $3 million. He died 10 years later, but we got over $3 million out of that money. So there's various kinds of fundraising we can be involved with that will lead to better fundraising. First of all, be a fundraiser. Secondly, get people to give to your annual fund something, $25, $50, $100 a month, whatever it could be. That'll happen every year. And that's why we call it annual giving, because we want it annually. And if we can get people like that. And then we start talking about a capital gift, like an endowed scholarship, which those two were, $25,000 each. And then we talk about, you know, estate gifts. When you're through with your money, don't let Uncle Sam have it. Give it to ABL. Give it to this Bible school. That's where you're going to build the buildings and get the endowment that you want. But those take time. Well, the person says, what do you mean take time? I said, well, if I wanted to go and sit down with this guy and ask him to join the Century Club for $100, we'd do it over a meal. Especially since he's an Aggie. But if I'm going to ask him for $50,000, it may take several years. And if you're going to be like one I got $25 million from, it took 13 years. An Aggie that I knew. 13 years. Well, they said, I don't quite understand all that. All right, how many, all of you ladies in here are married, right? Did he ask for your hand in marriage on the first date?
Everybody else.
We got you, Bob.
You're up.
Well, now that is good to hear. Because it finishes my story. I was doing this one time down there, your area down there, and we had 50 or 60 people in the audience, and I asked them. And nobody would raise their hand and say, he asked me on the first date. Finally, one little lady stood up and said, yes, he did. He asked me on the first date. I said, oh, when did y'all first meet? She said, in kindergarten. When did y'all first meet?
10 days before that. At the A&M church, sitting in the pew.
Okay. It took a while to get it done. But what we were talking about for most of you is a courtship. He brought you flowers maybe on your birthday. He might have taken you out to eat at a special day, Valentine's Day. But you built a relationship. And for most of us guys, we were building it so that she wouldn't say no. Isn't that right? But, that's the way fundraising is. You build a relationship. And I always say that people may not give now, but they'll give later. And so we need to give them that opportunity. So if it is kosher for me to say this, what this guy needs, what Terry needs, the board, whatever, the church, all that, they need some bird dogs that are out looking for prospects. You know what a bird dog does? They find a quail or a pheasant or whatever and point to it. They don't shoot it. That's for you to do if you've got a rifle, a shotgun. So what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to be a bird dog. Because bird dogs help us find the prospects. And Ty, you may have an accounting person that you've worked with or something, and they've got an estate, quite a bit of money, have no children. They have Christian values, they may be Christians, and all of a sudden they say, well, Mr. CPA, what am I going to do with all this when I'm gone? And you could say, well, one of the things you could do is give it to a charity to help young children, help preachers in South Africa, whatever, and start that courtship. Give them material. I'm a member of the board of the International EEM, Eastern European Missions. And I had a fellow call me just about a month ago, that's a classmate of mine that lives in Houston. And he said, Bob, I've got a 90-year-old lady that lives in my apartment complex, and she likes the idea of you raising money to give Bibles to people that need them in Europe. Could you meet her? Sid and I met with her 2 weeks ago, and she had a waffle there with fruit on it and a candle on it, because my birthday was the 20th of January.
A birthday waffle.
We had a birthday waffle. And we didn't ask her for anything, but I provided her material about what we do. She has already told the guy that introduced us, he's my classmate. And she said, I like those two Walker guys. People give to people, remember that. You don't learn anything else from what we say today. Remember, it's relationships. It's people giving to people. My lectures usually last only 3 hours. But you don't want me that long. But let me just say, I want to salute you again for being a part of this new council that will help the Bible school. And a good council member brings to the enterprise one of the 3 T's: their time, their talent, or their treasure. Now, Mr. Sharp right here, maybe he could be a counselor for somebody and give his time and his talent to help them make a will out to the program. Doesn't cost you anything except your time to do it. Maybe there's some kind of a workshop, something going on, and you need to help solve it. Okay, I got to end with a story. Sit down, Sid.
You're up next.
In 1972, I was working for the Association of Former Students at
It was a
AZ.
very
That's the
good year.
Alumni Association. And Buck Wires, who was my boss, thought I was a good fundraiser, so he turned the annual giving over to me as long as the scholarship program. So I looked at our Century Club program. That was people that gave $100. And we had a brochure that said anybody that gives $100 or more can be a member of the Century Club. So I said to our accountant, our people in the computer room, I said, how many and mores do we have? I think out of 1,200 something, we had about 57 that gave more than $100. So I said, well, we need to have a better program and get them up the ladder a little bit. So I decided we'd start the Century Club at various levels. You could be a bronze member for $100, a silver member for $250, a gold member for $500, and for $1,000 you could be a diamond member. So you could pay that out. If you work for a matching company, That provided half of it, you got counted for it. So I put these 4 letters together and went to everybody. And if they had given less than $50, I tried to get them to 100. If they had given less, just over 100, I tried to get them to 250 and right on up the ladder. Well, they were coming in good letters, positive. Here's some extra money, I'll give it in December, whatever. But then my secretary called and she said, Dr. Walker, you got a letter from a man here that you're not going to like. So I opened it, she read it, and I looked at it. He said, my name is Burton L. Delaney, class of 33 from A&M. I live in the San Diego, California area. I have been a county agent most of my life because my degree was in agriculture. I have given $25 every year since I graduated. But if you're telling me now that's not enough, I'm telling you that's all I can give. And so you just will take me off your list because that's all I can give. And he said this over 3 or 4 times. He typed it. I could see the strikeovers, all the white ink stuff he put on. Well, I called it. I said, Mr. Delaney, is this John Delaney, class 33 from A&M? He said, yes, it is. I said, well, this is Bob Walker, class of 58, who wrote you that dumb letter. And I'm calling to apologize. Your $25 is important. And I hope you will keep on giving. And I apologize again for being so insensitive to you and your ability to give $25. Well, it just seemed to me like, and he started apologizing to me. And we talked some more. He said, well, I better let you go, this is a long distance. Remember what it was?
Those were the days.
See it years
So
ago.
I wrote him a nice thank you letter and told him how important it was. His $25 meant everything in the world. He writes back, he said, you didn't have to do that, but I'm Burton now and you're Bob, is that okay? Well, when Aggies draw panels with you, that means they want to be your friend. So we kept exchanging letters. He said, I didn't tell you this, but I was in the band. I had a scholarship for $525 a month to be in the Aggie band. And I wrote back and I said, well, I'm here at the MSC. The band is marching at Kyle Field and I can hear them. I wish you could hear them. I'm going to send you a brochure about the band. Nothing about a gift. Got to educate people a little bit. So he writes back. Folks, about a year later, he calls me and he said, Bob, I'm a widower. I don't have a lot of money, but what I've got I want to leave to the Aggie band. How do I do it? So I sent him all the stuff. 3.5 years later, he died. And he gave me this 1892 silver dollar. His Aggie ring he gave me. We could recycle them then. And so Sid's little brother, Bill, is wearing his ring. It's been recycled. And it cost me nothing because the gold was much stronger then. But it has Burton L. Delaney 33 and Bill's class of 88 in there. We got a gift of a little over $300,000. So what I'm saying is, every gift is important. Don't forget that. It might be a little widow lady that's giving you $10 a month. But maybe when she's gone, she wants to keep giving that. And if you've got Terry here and he's a lawyer and he can talk to her about how to do it, that's great. So I'm telling you folks, fundraising is fun.